Well, Sigma Chi was very valuable to me for the relationships and having close, intimate relationships with a group of brothers and other SIGs I'd met along the way. The chapter had a huge impact on my life and on my Georgia Tech experience. I felt like I was coming home. It felt like, wow, this is where I should be. And it was so fabulous to be in a big school, but with a group of people. And everyone was just great. They accepted you for who you were, and it really made me feel good. And it really kicked off my whole time at Georgia Tech. We actually pledged before we started school, and I was initiated in the winter of '61. And then a very important thing happened to me is that I got a call from my brothers to, say, July to go to workshop in August because one of the brothers had to drop out and it was up north in Indiana. And so that was an eye-opener for me. And I was in the underclass group, and my discussion leader was Chuck Thatcher, who was then a professor at Michigan, and of course then became Grand Consul. And Chuck taught me something I never forgot to this day. In fact, my wife repeats it all the time. People support what they help create. And it took me a long time to learn that because I thought, hey, I got these great ideas, I got to sell everyone on my ideas. And that's the one reason everyone wasn't taking to them. And I would say being a Geezer was one of the great experiences. It kind of shaped everything I've done since then, because everything I do now, actually I'm not leading anything for the last 15 years, 18 years since I left Medtronic, but everything I do now is try to help other people realize their full potential and become great leaders. And that's devoting everything I have to that time. I'm teaching at Harvard Business School for the last 17 years, and that's my whole purpose, my whole mission. So it really came out of that early experience. I really learned it in the Beta Psi chapter, and that's why I'm still dedicated to that chapter and go back there all the time, and I'm very involved with the chapter. Because Sigma Chi's values are so clear and the purpose and mission is clear, people can translate that into their leadership. And so I think it's really great training for people. I mean, you guys have experienced that, and I think it's really important opportunities to grow as a human being. The important thing is that you have this bond between the alumni and the brothers, and I think that was so important. And so I feel it's my obligation and desire to give back to the fraternity. To me, leadership is character, and Sigma Chi is really a character-building organization and takes young men and helps develop them throughout their lifetime if they stay engaged, which I hope they do and will. You know, why would you live if you have no purpose in your life? I mean, what are you living for? Just eat, drink, and be merry. And I think we're placed on earth. We're given gifts. You guys have great gifts. You're giving gifts. I was blessed with some gifts. But your job is to use those gifts to help other people. And if you don't, to me, that's a great sin. So I think it's our job to kind of use those. So I think the principles of Sigma Chi are not dissimilar to what I have in True North. In fact, they're very parallel. So I think these learnings early on were extremely helpful to me, and they've carried through my life, as you can see. And that's one of the reasons I don't want to retire. I may have retired from Medtronic, but I haven't retired from life. So I want to keep going. And that's why I'm trying to spend time mentoring a lot of young people. Not so young, some of them are in their 50s and are CEOs, but they're doing really well, and that's why I'm spending an awful lot of my time now, because I love to do that. So I'm very excited to see the leadership is really changing. And the younger generation of leaders, we have far better leaders than we ever had in my generation, that are really concerned about how are we impacting society? Are we improving health? Are we overcoming racism? Are we providing opportunities for everyone to have a good life, a good financial life? What are we doing? And to think about that. And I think leadership is far better today than it ever was. And so I'm very excited about that.